candy tastes so good. So good. Hey guys, hope you all have been well. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a get ready with me, and we're going to be talking about, so if you're interested, we're going to do a bunch of makeup, list all the products for you down below and on Instagram, and we're just going to get to chit-chatting. Let's start off with the obvious. My face is already done. I feel like every time I do these get ready with me's, I just have enough to say to where I can concentrate on my eyes only. But I will be using majority new products, so I'm going to be pulling out this Colourpop build your own eyeshadow palette stuff. Forgot my brushes over there. Great. Wait one moment, and we're back. Hopefully I don't have to get anything else. Moving on with obvious talk. My hair is different. You guys know I'm not like, oh, this is my real hair. Like, you guys know I struggle with having really thin hair, and so me playing with like extensions, wigs, toppers, that's just my spiel. That's how I deal with my lack of hair. So I got me one of these. So we are going to begin with the actual flight, because that's a story in itself. If you have seen any of my videos where I talk about myself, about flying, like, I literally hate flying. I hate it with a passion. I'm pretty much a paranoid flyer. I constantly think that I'm gonna die on the plane. It's both, I get distracted, my own mind of what I'm thinking, but also it's me trying to calm myself down. So a lot of that conversation happens in my head. We start off in Saipan, that's where I'm from, and we go to Korea. So Korea is about 4 hours and some change. And I've made that flight a couple of times already, so I'm used to it. But for some reason, flying upwards always seems to have more turbulence, so I don't like to fly to Korea. We get there, we have breakfast. I'm still like, oh my god, my next flight is gonna be 13 hours. 13 hours. The last time I had a 13-hour flight was 11 years ago when I went to Greece. I was young and I was like, I'm excited, but I'm older now, and I'm excited, but I'm older now. Yeah, I think this is the first time I've ever ridden Delta. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a pretty good feeling that it was probably my first time. Fun fact, I hate airplane food. I always have. This is not a new thing. You can ask my mom. Since I was a kid, I cannot stand the smell or the taste of airline food. Don't know. We take off, and I think about 2 or 3 hours in, I just gave up. I was like, Lord Jesus, I'm putting everything in your hands. My life, my sanity, like everything. It's all on you. You got it. You're taking the wheel. I'm gonna take a back seat for a little bit. You are in control of my life. I pretty much, I don't want to say I calmed down, but I think I just kind of mellowed out. I think I was pretty okay, surprisingly. I mean, as okay as I can get myself to be. I still was not happy being on that plane, but at the same time, I'm not freaking out every 30 seconds, you know? Also, on this plane ride, thank you Delta, they have like a bunch of movies. I'm used to having like 4, maybe 6 options to watch on a plane. They had a lot of movies. They even had games. It was touchscreen, and I had things to keep me busy. I probably played like a ton of Sudoku, because that's usually my plane business. I Sudoku a lot on the plane. I think I watched 2 or 3. I know for sure I finally watched Crazy Rich Asians. Is that what it's called? And it was a pretty cute movie. Had some funny bits and pieces to it, and you know, we made it to Detroit. It was a 40-minute flight from Detroit to Rochester, easy breezy. I was just ready. I was ready to get off. So I am in Rochester, and pretty much my days consisted of waking up, cooking if, you know, we feel like eating a meal together in the morning. I play with the baby, I help out where I can, and just, I don't know, do things I normally do. My phone, internet, play with the baby, play with the baby, play with the baby. I play with the baby. And then oftentimes I cook dinner and then played with the baby. For those of you that don't know, I went because we finally got a grand baby in our family, and I went to help my brother out and my sister-in-law. You know, it's first time having kids, and my parents weren't able to make it out there, and so my brother and I went in place of them. I could have just done that the entire time and I would have been happy. My niece is a hoot. We are so related. She's quirky and she's sassy and she's active, and she's a ball of energy. I love her. Like she's not my baby, but I feel like she is. She is the baby of every single person in this family. We are obsessed with her. I am obsessed with her. She is amazing, and I can't wait to see her again. But yeah, I pretty much, like, majority of the time, it's just hanging out with family, playing with the baby, cooking, doing stuff I normally do. I did end up going to a couple places. I went to the Strong Museum. I'm just gonna name things off the top of my head. I don't have a list with me, but it was fun. It was a lot of like history of toys, games. It was so much fun. There were a lot of kids in there, but I think I just had as much fun as they did. It was fun. I've been into Wegmans probably a total of 8 to 10 times, and I'm not complaining because grocery stores do not look like that here. Wegmans, you need to make your way out here. I swear I will be your #1 customer. That produce section alone, I could stay in for hours. And for those of you that live on island, you know just how expensive strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. I remember one time, kid you not, there was a bag of cherries I had seen on island for $40. $40 for a bag of cherries. In the local store, there's this little tray. It's a tiny tray, not even like double stack, like single stack of strawberries, and it's like 5 something. What? Come on. I love fruits too much, so I ate a lot of fruit over there. A lot of fruit. But in addition to that, I did go to Toronto, and I went, I think it was game 4, game 3 or 4. I might have been 4, where they played in California. This was the NBA finals, by the way. And we drove up to Toronto. It was about 3 hours, 3 and some change. As soon as we got there, checked into the hotel, we walked everywhere. We never rode any form of transportation. We walked to Chinatown. The fruit section, I saw lychee and it was so cheap. I'm so sad I didn't end up buying them, but I ended up finding them at Wegmans later. Anyways, went to Chinatown. We ate at a dim sum restaurant. My brother knows the name of it. I forget. I just found it online, had great reviews. But the dim sum restaurant there was amazing. So bomb. And mind you, this was the beginning. We were going to still walk everywhere. Not a smart idea, but I don't regret it. So we went, ate, then we ended up going to the Kensington Market. The diversity of people I can only speak to Toronto. I can't say Canada. But the diversity of people in Toronto, it's just... you can just tell, like, there's people from all walks of life, all types of ethnicities, and everyone just kind of blending in together, and everyone was so nice. I don't know, I loved Toronto. But Kensington Market was amazing. There were a lot of eateries. I remember this one place that they sold pot. Obviously it's legal there, but just FYI, if you haven't been, like, you smell it a lot. After that, we went to Graffiti Alley, I believe. And then when we were done, we headed back to the hotel for a little bit. And then our hotel was about 5-10 minutes away from, this is walking distance, to the Blue Jays Stadium. And then I think we went to the Blue Jays Stadium first, wrapped around, went to the CN Tower. We didn't end up going up. It was pretty expensive and the line was long. Just took photos of that. Then we went to the Raptor Stadium, and let me just say that the Raptors made Toronto extremely proud. People love the Raptors up there. There were so many signs that read "We the North," and I got a t-shirt that said that with the kind of the city backdrop. And it was fun. The next day we ate dinner like at a sushi restaurant. I love sushi, guys. We pretty much just went to bed and got ready for the next day. We had walked around the other side of the city that we didn't get to see on the first day, went to Krispy Kreme, got us some treats for the road, and on the way back home, went to Niagara Falls. The sound in itself was just, I could probably take a nap there. Those of you that like the sound of water and have never been to Niagara Falls, it sounded so beautiful. In my time visiting my brother, I don't know, being from an island so far away, so different in terms of like the environment, the way, even just like housing, it's very different. And so being there, I remember I was at my brother's in-laws place and it was warm out. I guess it was like one of the first days it was actually warm out, and I remember thinking like, no, it's not, guys. It's not warm. Guys, it's cold. My brother would tell me about how bad the weather can get, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. How are you surviving this, you island boy? Because this is June, and temperatures fluctuated between the 50s into the 60s, and a few days it was like 70s, right? But mainly within the 60s, and I still was dying. And I have sinus problems, so it was even worse. I was constantly sneezing. My nose was always stuffy, but I didn't have to worry about sweating. So it's like a toss-up, right? You're not going to sweat, but you can freeze your butt off and your nose is going to constantly bug you. Some of you are probably laughing at me like, what? 50s and you're dying, 60s and you're dying? Like, yes, I'm that weak. Also, the houses, I remember I got laughed at. I said that it looked like it was in the movies, like from the movies, because houses don't look like that here. It's very much movie style. That's what I call it. It just looks like it's from the movies, like suburban. You ride your bike on the sidewalk, you say good morning to your neighbor, like that kind of living. And that's not being like, I'm not trying to make fun of it. Like, that's literally what it was. I was amazed by it. Like, wow, that house looks like it's from a movie. Houses don't look like that here. Okay, so I think I'm done with my eyes. What do you guys think? Colorful. So let me do the other eye. We will come back, continue to talk about it. I think I'm wrapping it up. It was a month-long trip, but a lot of repetitive stuff. No regrets again. Okay, guys, eyes are done. We're gonna finish off the rest of the face. I did end up going to quite a few eateries. I tried Five Guys. I didn't eat the burger, I had the fries. And then I had Chipotle. Had Dunkin' Donuts before, but not in a really long time. And we bought donuts on our way from Korea to Detroit and did not end up eating them. Had a bunch of like local places. I think we had like pizza 2 or 3 times. We had wings, probably 4. Had a lot of wings, guys. I love wings. My brother loves wings. We have a lot of like Korean type options, but as far as like, other types of sauces, we pretty much did that in Rochester. We visited the lake. I guess they call it the beach. I didn't know that, but we did go to the lake. The water was really high and pretty rough, but we had a picnic there. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but overall it was like family time, which again, that's why I was there. I can't complain. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Again, even if I just had stayed at home, played with the baby, I would say that was my favorite time, just being with my family. I hadn't seen my brother and my sister-in-law in a couple years, so it was nice just to be with them. And when you're with family, no matter how long it's been, it's like the same. So on my way back, the people that I had been seated next to, because I normally ride on planes where there's just two on the window aisles, and so this one had 3 seats, both to Korea and to Detroit. So going back, same thing, same planes. And we were seated next to this one guy. He was very like chatty, good conversation, and we ended up just talking about like things that we had in common in the families. And he had mentioned what his job was. He was on his way to Bali, and he had mentioned about him like drinking prior to this flight. And on the plane ride, yeah, he had a few more. And then funny thing was that on our way to Saipan, same thing. Like the guy that I was seated next to, he had like 4 or 5 glasses of wine on a 4-hour trip. I don't know if that's common, but I thought I was like, sir, you needs to slow down. He was very, very animated, I would say. That trip coming back home to Saipan from Korea, probably the worst flight out of all of them. There was a lot of turbulence. Nothing crazy, but it was pretty constant and annoying. And there were babies on the plane. I understand that babies are gonna cry, and I'm not gonna complain about it, but there were a couple that were crying. So you can imagine like the noise level on the plane. It was close to 9 o'clock. We got to Saipan around 2 in the morning, close to 2 in the morning. So we were all just done. I was done, got home, literally changed out my clothes, freshened up, and went to bed. I don't remember what happened through the night. I usually wake up once or twice just to use the restroom. Didn't do it. I couldn't. I was dead. I was tired. I missed my bed. I missed my brother. I missed my sister-in-law. I missed my niece. And I was done. It was done. So upset I'm gonna eat a haichu. Do you guys eat this stuff? This is, I think I've mentioned it before. Here we get a lot of Asian snacks and like American snacks, so it's just a variety. Haichu. I have these other ones. So overall, how was my trip? It was amazing. Minus the flight, which can't be helped, guys. Like, I'm not oblivious to that. And although I complained to myself at the time, I would do it again. My apologies, guys. My camera died. My battery died. The camera's not dead. But like I said, would make that trip again in a heartbeat. Wait, let me take that back. I need to be honest. Give me a few weeks and then I can make that trip again. Hey, chew. Hurry up. Strawberry. I should have done my outro before tossing that in my mouth, but Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed this makeup look. Full description down below. Also, if you'd like to be updated with all my future makeup looks, past makeup looks, check me out on Instagram. First link in the description box down below. If you like this video, would like to be updated for future videos. This candy tastes so good. Please don't forget to subscribe down below. Just bad everywhere. That's okay. Red subscribe button down below. Would really appreciate it. Till the next video, I hope you all are doing well, taking great care of yourselves. I will see you all next time. Bye guys.